Here's a little follow-up to our pin discussion that we had earlier. Here's the basic parts. We call them the joint catch and pins, sometimes abbreviated as JC and P, etc. It's the catch because that catches the end and holds it. There's a lot of different styles of these. A lot of them have to do with the historical evolution of that particular finding, but that's another story. But that's the catch. This is the pin stem, or often just called the pin. It can be confusing because this whole arrangement can also be called a pin, but there you go. Usually when people are talking about the pin, they mean the actual pin stem. And this usually tapers, or at least at the very end is pointed. That should be smooth. If you don't finish those nicely, you're going to get a lot of drag in the cut, or the customer's going to get a lot of drag in the fabric when they use it, and that's going to make them unhappy with your product. Oftentimes there's a rivet across here that goes into these two little holes, and again, based mainly on history, there's a lot of variations. The question that we were referred to was that one of the members brought up the concept of aiming the pin stem uphill a little to create more tension, and I figured I'd just do a video. So here's what we're going to use as an example, and it matches the drawing pretty well. So here it is. Now the pin works just fine. It's got a nice taper, see, and it doesn't really extend past the pin catch much. You don't want to be stabbing people. Anyway, the concept of putting more tension on this is, see, when this is relaxed, it's just going to lay in that little track, which is fine. It's where it's supposed to be. But some people like to add a little bit of tension by increasing the angle right here. And since this is the modern pin findings and what you're going to see most often, I figured I would show you a really easy way to do that. So you need to change this angle a little bit, like that, but you can't grab onto this. You don't want to risk breaking the pin joint off of the base piece, and you don't want to risk rippling that. If this is thin at all, like on a hat band frame, for instance, you don't want to just grab that and bend it back. That's not the answer. There's a few ways of doing it. You can drive the rivet out, and you can hammer this little leg right here to extend it. If you want a finesse job, if there's room for it, it'll just hit the base sooner, and then that'll be at an uphill. If this is relaxed at an uphill like that, where it rises, it's settled above it, then when you snap it into place, it's really going to hold tight. That's what we're going for. So this is a technique that I've developed, and I'm using ordinary chain nose pliers. Let me grab it, and then I'll show you what I'm doing. With the pin stem open, see, I'm right-handed, so it makes it difficult to film. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to grab onto the base of the pin stem as so, and then, if I can hold on to it with my left hand, bend this back. I'll try and show you if I can get the angle right. There you go. Like that. See, now that increased that angle, and this is going to be going uphill, and I didn't change the positioning of the joint at all. I didn't compromise the integrity of the base or the weld or anything. I didn't add metal fatigue to anything. And now, if I did it correctly, and you can see there's a little bit of a bow right there now, a little bit of a bow. So now when this is down, see, it rests above the joint, or the catch rather. And see, and there's some springiness to it. So that's what we're talking about tension. Now, when you take the piece and pop it into there, believe me, even if this isn't engaged, it's really going to hold. It's not going to open accidentally. And there you have it.